Hi everyone, welcome to my video about beans. So beans are great. I also have a video on nuts and a video on seeds. I will be doing a video on lentils in the future. There's a playlist on my channel you can check out. Also, you can find all of the videos just by searching my channel. But today's topic is beans. So anyone who thinks beans are boring, I think that they don't realize how many different varieties of beans there are. There are so many different types of beans. And I'm not even going to talk about like green beans because that's a vegetable. And I think, that or they don't realize how many different ways there are to use beans because there's a lot. So before I get into talking about types of beans and ways that you can use beans, I'm going to talk about the gas issue a little bit because yes, beans can be gassy. So there's lots of different tips out there online on ways to reduce gas when you're consuming beans. I'm just going to give you a few. Number one, eat them in moderation, especially if you're not used to it. If you're coming from a Western diet or the SAD diet, standard American diet, you've probably you've been indoctrinated to think of a healthy meal as being large amount of protein, small amount of vegetables, and that's really backwards. Really, the healthiest way to eat is to consume primarily fruits and vegetables in a variety of color. So to have that be the base of your meals, and then to incorporate plant-based, high-protein foods such as beans, lentils, seeds, and nuts. Not to have that be the main portion of your meals. Now, there are vegetables out there that are very high in protein as well, so I don't need to say that they're not, that there aren't. But anyhow, back to the topic at hand. There are some foods out there that are beans that people do not realize are beans, such as coffee beans. Coffee is a product that is bean-based. It is from coffee beans, which are beans. Also, soybeans. I think a lot of people realize that that is a bean, but they don't make the connection that anytime they're eating a soy product, it's a bean product. So your soy milk, if you eat any soy-based ice cream or any of the multitude of products that are out there that are soy-based, that is bean-based. So there are probably some other ones out there like that I'm not thinking of at the moment. Please forgive me. So like I said, there are so many different types of beans, and I'm not going to mention green beans because that's actually a vegetable. But there are, and these are just a few compared to what there are out there, but there are black beans, there are pinto beans, there are a large variety of different types of white beans, including navy beans, lima beans, cannellini beans. I think I said that wrong. Butter beans are lima beans. But there are a variety of different white beans. Great Northern and navy, those are the other two I was thinking of. So those are some different types of white beans, and there are more. There's azuki beans, there are garbanzo beans, mung beans, black-eyed peas, cranberry beans, fava beans. Again, soybeans, kidney beans, red beans, and I'm just naming a few here. So I wanted to give some suggestions of ways to use beans for people who are at a loss or want a new idea. Chili, making a bean chili. You can also put them in soups, different soups, minestrone, that has beans in it. I sometimes throw mine in with a vegetable soup, just throw some beans into a vegetable soup. Sometimes some rice, so it's a rice and beans soup with vegetables, all kinds of things like that. Rice and beans by itself is great. You can add scallions or chives or some seasonings. Make a bean dip, bean burritos. You can make some vegan nachos with beans. You can even put beans on pizza. I know it sounds freaky to some people, but I like it. There's enchiladas. Hummus is made from beans. Falafel, bean burgers. Stores now, they're even making pasta out of beans. I've seen some made out of black beans, mung beans. Did I mention mung beans? Mung beans are a type of bean also. I've noticed a couple of brands of chips that are actually made from beans now. They have chips made from white beans, black beans, different types. So that's pretty interesting. I've tried some. They look good. They're certified non-GMO, so if you want to check that out, those are available. Also, some beans go really well in salad. Chickpeas and butter beans are really popular beans to throw into a regular leafy, green salad. Tofu, I know I mentioned, all soy products, but tofu is a really big one. Because there's a lot of things to do with tofu. You can fry up tofu or bake tofu, put it in vegetable stir fry, make sandwiches out of it, use it in the middle of a sandwich with your vegetables and then a condiment. All kinds of things to do with tofu. You can even silken tofu, you can make pudding out of, and pies, all kinds of things. Tofu really doesn't have too much of a flavor, and so it's very versatile. The extra firm and the firm tofu is firmer, so extra firm tofu is really good for frying into a stir fry or doing sandwiches, things like that, chunking and baking or frying, putting it into salads, all kinds of things. Scrambled tofu is a vegan substitute for scrambled egg. Love some scrambled tofu. That's firm tofu or extra firm tofu works really well for that. Silken tofu is better for making vegan milkshakes, vegan smoothies, puddings, like I said, pies and things, different desserts and things like that. The more creamy sort of pies, like a coconut cream pie or like lemon meringue type of pies like that. There are other ways to do it too, so that you're not using tofu. But you would be eating beans if you did something like that, so that's another way. There's tempeh, which, like tofu, you can prepare and use in a variety of ways. You can grill tempeh, you can fry tempeh, bake tempeh, you can use it in sandwiches, you can put it into pasta, you can do all kinds of things with it. Honestly, I don't use it very often myself, so I'm not as familiar with ways of using it as many people who use it are. But you can marinate it as you can tofu, and so you can flavor it in so many different ways. And like I said, cook it in a variety of ways. Of course, there's baked beans. that can certainly be made vegan as well. You can throw beans in casseroles. There's a lot of things you can do with beans. I'm going to put a link to a page that has seasoning suggestions for different types of beans, how you can season black beans, how you can season pinto beans, and so forth for a lot of different types of beans. So check out the description below and check that out because it's pretty interesting. I saw some things that I never would have thought of, so it really widened my my perspective and gave me some fresh ideas. Again, anything with soy in it, that's bean. I do recommend people use organic soy or certified non-GMO soy. In a lot of countries, labeling is required or they don't sell GMOs, but in the United States, there's no labeling required, so you just never know. If it says non-GMO organic, that means that there are no GMOs in it. Otherwise, you just never really know. Soybeans, in particular, are a crop that is very heavily GMO'd, so you can pretty well guarantee that if your product isn't certified non-GMO or organic, that it is GMO'd if you buy soybeans in the United States, as far as I'm concerned. Edamame, that is soybeans, and you can use that stir fry, all different things. People use mung beans, sprouted mung bean, as a sweetener sometimes. There's mung bean cookie recipes out there, all kinds of stuff. So, those are just a few ideas I had for you. Please leave any comments or questions you have below. If you have a healthy vegan recipe involving beans, or want to share a product or idea on how to eat beans, or a suggestion in reducing gas for beans, please do so in the comments below. Thank you and be well.